What this says today is we know the benefits, we know the harms, and this vaccine is safe and effective, and every confidence can be given to that. Americans should feel very good, even better than they did yesterday, about getting the vaccine.
Look at the data in Israel. The vaccines are failing, and that is why the Israelis are now pushing a third shot, and that is going to come here. Well, guess what? The New York Times yesterday wrote a story that said basically the vaccines in Israel are failing.
A booster shot, just like all your typical vaccines, we give them very many months apart. We don't give them all in one little sequence. So a booster shot for COVID would be very similar to booster shots we get for other vaccines, and really has the potential to give many, many years of immunity. So it's not just the number, it's the spacing. So I'm very encouraged by the data out of Israel, even published this weekend, showing that that third shot is highly protective, particularly in those over 60.
Okay.
A third shot could come as soon as September. And who knows what's after that? A fourth? Join me now, Florida Congressman Byron Donalds. Congressman, thank you for being with me. Am I being cynical? This idea that boosters and this cycle of a third and a fourth shot, this is driven more by the profit margin than the public health needs.
I don't think you're being cynical at all. I think it is driven by profit. I also think it's driven by politics.
I'm not going to defend Big Pharma except to say that they came to the rescue with a lot of government support here. The doses are $20 a dose. This is not very expensive. And the science clearly says this is not a pharma scheme. This is absolutely necessary to protect Americans. The first two doses, and now we see the third dose.
And I'll tell you, a vaccine where the immunity wanes after 6 months, that is a very poor quality vaccine. This is not an ideal product.
Well, I would just ask people to consider when they get their children vaccinated, they don't get all the vaccines in one little bunch. Same thing for HPV, same thing for hepatitis B. You actually have to get it over time. That months should pass, and your immune system evolves its response, and when you get that boost, it's long-lasting.
I see.
What we did here in the pandemic is we got everybody vaccinated to squelch the storm, the fire, but now we're looking for that long-lasting immunity, and the boost will do that.
Unfortunately, it's now obvious that protection does not last. And instead of acknowledging that probably the only way we're going to get through this in the long run is just by people getting infected and recovering, as some people suggested was the best move to make last year, the people who are in charge of the public health establishment, who have been telling you for a year that vaccines are the miracle that's going to get us out of this, are on this desperate strategy to try to boost immunity again with a third shot. This is a very dangerous game that they're playing, and they know it.